It's the MOPOWERZ, where knowledge is power. How are you all doing this fantastic Friday? Me, I'm absolutely fabulous, and you too can be fabulous if you detach yourself from the matrix system. And if this is your first time watching the MOPOWERZ, I ask that you share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, hell, even the guy that's standing at the bus stop waiting to go to work just like yourself. It is a terrific way to jumpstart a conversation with someone that you know or don't know. And today's conversation would be none other than Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake, just from my standpoint, and I'm going to give you my take on the whole situation. Jacob Blake was wrong. Why do you say he was wrong, Mo? I am not throwing him under the bus like Cash Kelly did, but Jacob Blake was wrong. He did not have to be shot in the back 7 times if he would have complied with the police. Besides, you got a warrant. What you doing outside? All of that could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided had he just let them arrest him. And it would have been over with. Not to mention the fact that he was irresponsible as a parent to allow his behavior to result in the tragedy in which it did in front of his children that was in the car. What do you think? I understand Cash Kelly's perspective, but he just threw the man under the bus. He had his points, and he was right. He was right. This guy did have court dates coming up. He did have a knife, Cash Kelly, but he didn't have it on his possession at the time. They found it on the floorboard, but he didn't have a gun, Cash Kelly. You say he had a gun, but he didn't have a gun. He did have a knife, according to the story. But my problem with that twist of that part of the story is, why would Jacob Blake tell them that he had a knife? That's what they said. Maybe when Jacob Blake goes to court, we'll find out if he had that knife. However, if he did have that knife, that's more wrong. If he was going for it in the car, as they said he was, because they said that it was a knife on the floorboard of the car. It wasn't in his hand, Cash Kelly, when he was going around to the car. He didn't have anything in his hand but some keys. And besides, if he had that, when he got up, after they finished tussling with him, they would have seen that. But you were right about 95%, 98%. I give you that. However, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but he was wrong. Was he wrong for his criminal charges? I can't judge him on that, and neither can you. However, we can judge him on the actions that he did in front of his children that led up to him being in that hospital, having multiples of surgeries. That he did do. He just could have laid down on the ground and just went to jail. Was the police right shooting him 7 times? Fuck no. He tried to kill that man. Shooting him 7 times point blank range, that is a murder. That is what we would call an overkill. However, like I stated, it went all wrong. Not only did it go wrong for Blake, It went wrong for the police. But we know that they're going to find some type of way to make this justifiable. You watch and see. Was the police justified in shooting Jacob Blake? I want you to tell me what you think in the comment section. Was Jacob Blake wrong? Was the police wrong? Or were they both wrong? But my standpoint, Jacob Blake was wrong, and that whole scene could have been not that way. That wasn't the case in George Floyd. That was not the case in George Floyd. But Jacob Blake's case is much different. And it's not a Breonna Taylor's. It's not Sandra Bland. It's not a Michael Brown. It's so many names. The cast that's up in New York. The one that they put the plunger up in his anus. You know, we're not talking about him. We're not talking about Sean Bell. This case is totally different. So, for all of you protesters that is continuing to protest, think about what you're protesting. I went out there in Kenosha. You all saw that. I wanted to see what was going on. Not that I was protesting for Jacob Blake. No. That was the reason that those protesters were out there. I was going to see the aftermath after those couple of nights. After the night that 3 people got shot and 2 fatal. The night before by that 17-year-old who killed 2 people and injured another. 17 years old, he wasn't even supposed to have an assault rifle. I'm just saying. But you all let me know what you think. Was Jacob Blake wrong? Was the police wrong? Or were they both wrong? Please leave your comments in the comment section. I would love to find out and to see what do you think about the Jacob Blake situation. Thanks for viewing. Remember, knowledge is power. And remember, it is your third eye that makes you shine like jewelry. Thanks for viewing. It's your brother, MOPOWERZ.